Welcome, class. Do you guys know the theme of the book? The theme is the NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
That's not the theme of the book.
Josh?
Hi, class.
That's Josh Allen.
What Tony meant to say was the NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
That's exactly what he just said.
What does this have to do with English lit?
Because the NFL on CBS streaming live on Paramount Plus is lit.
Feels good to make a difference, Tony.
It's about pride. It's about legacy.
I want to make history in boxing. That's why I'm here.
When you want to win something this big, you got to risk it all.
But I'm ready, and I prepare myself for a different kind of fight.
My whole career has been about chasing Canelo.
Undisputed versus Undisputed.
Good afternoon and welcome to Houston, Texas. We are here at the gym of Jermell Charlo, the undisputed super welterweight champion of the world. He will collide against Canelo Álvarez on Saturday, September 30th on Showtime pay-per-view, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. It is undisputed versus undisputed. It all comes your way, a part of an electric night of boxing presented by Premier Boxing Champions, promoted by TGB Promotions and Canelo Promotions. But before we get ready for the Jermell Charlo workout, this is the anniversary of 9/11. On that fateful day 22 years ago, I want to send my thoughts and prayers to the families and those who were affected by that horrific tragedy. Also, I want to compliment and admire those, our first responders, who were unbelievable during that day, helping so many and thousands. And also I want to thank the first responders who continuously look after all of us, along with those in our United States Armed Forces. 9/11, a day we will never forget here in the United States. But with that being said, we are here in Houston, Texas, and I got the WWE Hall of Famer, Houston's finest, Booker T.
Oh, man.
Booker, you know what it's like to be on big stages, on pay-per-view, worldwide television audiences. Now you get to see Jermell Charlo as he squares off against Canelo Álvarez in a few weeks' time. How excited are you, and how excited is the city of Houston for Jermell Charlo?
Man, the city is on fire right now. Not that it's just 100 degrees, but we are excited for September 30th and Jermell Charlo stepping into the ring for the biggest fight of his career. And I tell you, Vegas has been, you know, on fire as well, putting on the big fights. PBC, I mean, we're coming off of Spence and Crawford. I mean, Tank Garcia has been so many big fights, but this one could be the one that tops them all.
What does it mean for Jermell Charlo? He's been on pay-per-view before, but this is the biggest headlining event for him in the history of his career. When you were in that position, that first big mega event, what does that mean to an athlete and to a prize fighter?
You know, I remember this kid coming up to me one day at McGregor Park, and he said, "Booker, I want to be just like you one day." And I go, "Man, I'm a role model." And I look at Jermell Charlo as being that same kid, come from that same cloth. You know, went to school right here in Houston. They leave Hastings, where he graduated from, and now he has a chance to go out there and give those young kids something to actually believe in. And I think today, that's what young people need, something to believe in. And Jermell is giving everybody in H-Town that something.
We saw him earlier. He is here, but, you know, what did you take away? He seems to be in very good spirits. He's focused, but what did you take away from just the demeanor of Jermell Charlo?
No, just they always say you could tell by the look in a man's eyes, you know what I mean? You could tell by the way a man walk. And definitely Jermell Charlo has that look in his eye, and he has that walk of intensive and purpose. September 30th, it's gonna be fireworks.
No, they always say pressure burst pipes, and it is hot here in the gym, and they are ready to go. Right now, we are going to bring up the undisputed super welterweight champion of the world.
Yes.
He has been a professional since he was 17 years of age, getting ready for this mega opportunity as he tries to become a two-time undisputed champion of the world. This one at super middleweight. Jermell, this is something that you've always wanted. As you prepare for September 30th, how excited are you to step inside the ring with Canelo Álvarez?
I mean, it's exciting. It's super fun. Been doing this my whole life, so now it's time to you know, put on for my city, put up or shut up, and do what I got to do, you know. It's one of the best fighters in the world. You have to be excited for this moment.
Is this the most, I mean, I will tell you, it seems like this is the most focused we've ever seen you, the most dialed in we've ever seen you. You keep getting better and better, but are you glad you're getting this opportunity now? Because you guys were scheduled to potentially share the ring in 2014. Now you get it 9 years later.
Well, you know, when you got the right people operating the system and handling the business on the other end, it always makes it, you know, the right moment. So now it's the right moment. We both 33 years old. We at our prime, we at our best, we at our fastest, our strongest. Canelo's coming to, you know, bounce back from anything that the people are doubting him about. And I come to put on and shake the doubters off and prove to the world why I'm in this position. It's not just by coincidence that I got here and I made it this far, but now it's my turn. It's my chance to shine. I've been doing what we do for a long time, you know, representing the Charlo twins and the Lions Only and the whole team, you know, and PBC, and just been doing what I have to do for the world. So now it's time to, like, really, you know, show what I'm made of, everything that I've done since I was 8 years old, when I turned pro in 07, to all of that, put it on the line now.
I'm just wondering, you know, after, you know, all the big fights, you know, Castaño, you had the draw and then you came back and knocked him out in this fight. This is the biggest fight of your career. How focused and how Derrick James put you in a position to go out there and not let this fight go to the judges?
Well, I mean, you know, I'm really dialed in as far as, like, my team and the folks around me. It's not just Derrick James. You know, I got Juan Guzman, who's, you know, works a lot on lateral movement feet and speed and different things. I got Titus Adams, who's an ex-NFL player, and he worked on a lot about exits, and he was a defensive tackle, so he kind of have a, you know, a different world. We got I got a doctor on hand at all times, and Kevin, Eric Hugh, and Brent Gilmore. These are like my guys and my core teammates. So I'm just in the ring doing what I have to do, and listen to Derrick James as the head coach, and we let him be the head coach and assist everyone else.
I was just saying something a second ago. A kid came up to me in McGregor Park and he said,
Yeah.
I want to be like you one day. And I said, man, I'm a role model. I've watched the growth in you over the last 5 years or so. And do you feel like you're a role model?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a role model. I have an amateur team, an amateur crew that, you know, I support. I go to their fights sometimes, and I know I got children myself. So, and I've been boxing for a really long time. So I'm pretty much some fan favorites and some people's best friend, I guess.
Yeah, now we're behind you. We're behind you 100%.
For sure.
Jermell, do you think that, you know, you walk around and you're a massive super welterweight. Do you think that when people are talking about this fight, saying, oh, he's going up 2 weight classes, I believe they're making too much of the size difference because you're just a naturally big guy. I'm astounded at how you've been able to make 154 throughout the duration of your career. Do you think that people are sort of looking at that and saying, all right, well, if you really don't know boxing, then they want to point to that and say, well, the size will be too much of a difference?
Well, you see how hot it is in Houston right now.
No, believe me.
How hot it is in Houston, right?
Yeah.
I haven't even started working out yet, and I'm already pointing sweats. But I made 154 easy. I can still make 154. I can make whatever weight division I have the chance to fight in. So I don't think that we're gonna be too much focused on or worried about having to cut too much weight, or worried about even the fans or what the people that's critique boxing, the writers or reporters say about making weight. Making weight is what you have to do. Is something that we've been having to do for our whole career. I've been sparring bigger guys for a very long time. Now it's just all about, bringing that same skill set and the mindset that I have at 54, from speed to power to everything, and bringing it up with me at 168.
I tell you, today you seem like real calm, man. Yeah. You seem like you're in your own zone. And I'm just wondering, do you feel any pressure to go out and really perform at your highest level at this fight? For this fight?
I think absolutely. I feel like it's pressure. Of course, it's pressure on me. It's pressure on my team. I think that we have to, be dominant, win this fight, not just off of knockouts or anything like I'm used to, just but win this for 12 rounds, beat him for 12 rounds, or do whatever I can in that ring that's gonna protect me and leave me vicious and leave me at the best. You know what I mean? But I'm calm because they're just there's no point of being a rascal.
It's a fighter's dream to be headlining on a major event that the world's watching in Las Vegas. Your name's everywhere on the Las Vegas Strip. I mean, look at the signage behind you.
Yeah.
The world will be watching this fight. How satisfying is it for you to see yourself in lights, on the marquee, sold-out crowd, T-Mobile Arena, worldwide audience, Las Vegas? Does it get any better than that as a prize fighter?
Nah, man, this is it. And it feels good. It's amazing. This is a dream come true. Just like winning Undisputed was a dream come true. Winning the world title, period. Making it out the slumps, making it out the mud, it's a dream come true. So once you get that far and you see so much and you see that yourself, you prospering and you making it through, I mean, bring it on. Keep bringing it. I mean, we can't stop God's blessings. So, stay locked in, stay dialed in, stay focused, be respectful, and just handle business, That's why, at the end of the day, I love my twin brother because we both had this vision. We both had this dream. I love my twin brother. For the world that don't really understand, I mean, we beef here and there, but if it wasn't for the motivation and inspiration that he gave me when I was younger, of wanting to be this or wanting to do this, then he started boxing before me. So, I made it this far. I'm thankful.
Well, go ahead,
No, go ahead. No,
I'm going to let him, we're going to go and let him work out. We're going to talk with you afterwards. And, we don't want to cut into the work and stuff like that. What do you think? How would you compete against Booker T and stuff, Jermell?
I wouldn't even try.
All right, we're going to let Jermell Charlo work out. We got Booker T, the WWE Hall of Famer, the undisputed super welterweight champion of the world, looking to become a two-time undisputed champion of the world. This one at super middleweight will allow Jermell Charlo to work out here in Houston. Houston's finest, Jermell Charlo. We got Booker T in the house. We'll let Jermell Charlo work out here on the Showtime Sports and PBC YouTube page.
My man, what's up, bro? That's cool. Yeah, nothing crazy. They looking for something new, so. Yeah. Then after that, there's everything? That's it. That's it. Oh. I don't know, Shaw, if for copyrighted purposes, I don't think that music is. Huh? I mean, it's cool. I mean, but I think it matters. I think that messes their copyright purposes up. Yeah. It might something wrong. Huh? You gotta ask the producer that. seen me before. They seen me before.
You are watching the Jermell Charlo workout here in Houston, Texas. The undisputed super welterweight champion of the world gets set to square off against Canelo Álvarez on Saturday, September 30th on Showtime pay-per-view. T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. Alongside the WWE Hall of Famer Booker T. Ray Flores here with the esteemed trainer of Jermell Charlo, one of the best trainers in the game, the trainer of the year last year, Derek James. Derek, it is great to talk with you. I know you're watching your man prepare and get ready for this huge showdown against Canelo Álvarez, but what does this opportunity mean to Jermell Charlo, yourself, and the entire team as you guys get set to match up against Canelo Álvarez?
Well, I think it means everything because I think that it's something that has never been done in the men's division to have 2 undisputed championships at one time. I believe that Sugar Ray Robinson tried it before and failed. So I think that with him doing this and being able to do it and make history, it'll be amazing.
Now, Booker, I know that Jermell is embodied in what Houston is all about, but how much of an addition has Derek been, in your opinion, to Jermell? And it's been a winning formula ever since they got together.
You know, I think the formula don't start in the gym. I think the formula, if you could correct me if I'm wrong, as far as getting that young man to that point to where he's a grown man and he can go out there and handle his business. As far as being a role model, I've seen the growth of Jermell Charlo over these last few years, and I saw Jermell Charlo before. As well, you know, and I see the difference. What has been, you know, your thought process in, you know, making Jermell Charlo get to that point?
I think that it's been so much about helping develop him as a fighter and at the same time as an individual, as a man, right? Because I think that if everything else outside the ring is bad, nothing in the ring will be good also. So I think you just got to keep pushing his skill set, helping develop his skill set, help develop his intellect about boxing so he understands everything I want him to do, and at the same time, help him become, a better man.
I got a saying, with my students, preparation is the only luck you're going to have, right. And that's in the ring as well as in life. What's your,
Hey, listen, I tag along with that because you got to realize that you win a fight in the gym, right? You win a fight in the gym. There's nothing you can do in the fight that night that would help you. You're not pulling nothing out of your butt to wrap it out of there. No, it's you actually doing it in the gym, preparing, and you're doing it right. That's what it's all about.
Now, Derek, for you, what weight would you like to see Jermell come in at? Because that seems to be the $1,000,000 question, because people are saying, okay, Jermell's going up 2 weight classes for this assignment. He's a naturally big 154-pounder.
Right.
I believe his power will translate on September 30th, but for you, ideally, is there a number? Is it 64, 65? Does it not matter? Are people making too much of that?
I think that, I really don't follow what everybody's saying because I'm not on the internet like that, but you said those numbers, 64, 63, 65, somewhere in the area, but I think that you don't have, just because you're moving up 2 weight divisions doesn't mean you have to gain all that weight. I think that his advantage is his size, and I think that you have to maximize what you have, and you don't have to, we see smaller guys sparring bigger guys every day of the week. The smaller guys are not getting up to the heavier guy's size to be able to deal with them. It's just like, I have something that you don't have. And so I think that he doesn't have to become that guy to be that guy. And I think that hopefully that'll be what he understands and knows the night of fight so he's not so heavy.
Now, not giving away the game plan, but what intangibles does Jermell Charlo have that are going to help propel him over Canelo Álvarez on September 30th, Showtime pay-per-view, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time?
But not giving away the game.
No, I'm just saying, what intangibles? Like, what do you like?
If I put a finger on one of the things.
What is it, like demeanor? What I mean, intensity.
I know what you mean.
I'm not trying, you know.
I know what you mean. You asked the right question, but that question gets, for me to answer that question is to give up anything. I'm tight,
You got a poker face on. I understand.
Yeah. I tell you what. This night against Canelo Álvarez, it's the biggest fight of Charlo's career, by any means. Under those bright lights, how do you see this fight playing out?
I see it as Jermell going in there, and Canelo. It's going to be a back and forth. I think because Canelo has to impose his will, right? But at the same time, I believe that Jermell has to be able to show him that I'm here also, and I'm not going to let you be who you are. And because if you let the fighters be who they are, they'll walk over you every day of the week. So it's like you got to be able to stop him from being his greatest self, and that's what Jermell has to be able to do that.
Just answered your question for you.
Well, he said it in a different way. That's why he is the WWE Hall of Famer.
But see, remember this, I didn't say what he was going to do.
Yeah.
I said what,
Look, there's a reason why you're the trainer of the year. You got, rings on your finger, and I'm not there. With that being said, Derek, finally, how big would this be if Jermell Charlo were to become the second fighter in history to be undisputed champion? This one, though, at 168. That was a couple months ago. Terrence Crawford was the first one. I'm not trying to bring back history here.
I always thought you were talking about the same time.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. So Terrence was the one to do it first, and then Jermell would be the second one.
It's okay. It's a good thing. I don't have an issue with saying that. That's reality.
Yeah.
You deal with reality. It's over. It's in the past now. But yeah.
But what would this mean for Jermell and the entire team?
I think that it would be great. I think that at the same time, I see Jermell making history, and it would have to be considered one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time because think about this, most of the people don't even have him rated in their pound-for-pound ratings. So to be a super middleweight undisputed champ and a light middleweight undisputed champ at the same time, two amazing feats at the same time.
So would that do you think that Jermell should be number one if he beats Canelo? Or is that just for media members like me to discuss that?
I'm just talking about history in itself because there's not another fighter to ever do it. Ray Robinson was the only guy who tried it and failed. And not many people have been able to try it and fail and try it and be successful or try it even to become undisputed champ, period. So to be able to do it in 2 divisions, it's a big deal.
All right, Derek, we appreciate the time. Thank you so much for giving us your expert analysis. We look forward to seeing you during fight week, and we'll allow you to continue to train. Your guy, Jermell Charlo, the undisputed super welterweight champion of the world here in Houston.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Always. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
That's all good. That's why.
I don't know about how you throw the ball. Different pitches.
I'm not trying to get you in trouble. Yeah. No, that's why I don't want to bring it up. You know, I don't like bringing up negativity. I know. We go beyond the camera. We go way back. We go back a long time.
Derek.
Hey Derek, is he doing? Is Googling working? Roll it back. That in the back. Good.
No, it will not be Joe. Nah. You gotta realize.
All right, we are back here in Houston watching Jermell Charlo work out. He is currently in the ring, the undisputed super welterweight champion of the world. And Booker, again, such a privilege to be having you with me. You were able to get that incredible information from Derek James. Obviously, things that I need to pick up with my notebook, and I got my yellow pad here for those of you that don't know. Anyways, but as we get closer, what I'm noticing about Jermell Charlo is that there is this excitement, but there is a confidence, there's a focus. This is the best I've ever seen Jermell Charlo mentally, physically, spiritually. Yeah. Is that fair to say?
No, it seems like a light shining bright down on him right now. He seems to be in a perfect place heading into this fight against Canelo Álvarez. He seems to be high-spirited. He seems to be happy, as well as seems to be focused more so than anything.
If there was a movie character that I could say has come to life, Jermell Charlo gives me Clubber Lang vibes from Rocky III when he beat Rocky for the first time, the only time. But that's what I gather out of Jermell Charlo, the ferocity, the intensity. I mean, just look at what he's doing right now just to that pad.
You know what, I got to disagree with you on that. He reminds me of the Michael B. Jordan character, a kid that's willing to go out there and go through all of the trenches and do whatever he has to do to get that W. And look at him right now, the way he's throwing those shots. They look crisp, they look precise, they look definitely punishing. And on the 30th time, I can only imagine what it's going to feel like being in the ring with this young man.
Well, you know this, being an elite level athlete and going all over the world in what you've done and headlining massive events. What you want is an opportunity. Jermell Charlo is already a made man, super welterweight champion of the world, undisputed. Now he's looking to do it twice, 2 weight classes above. What does that signify for him as he inches closer to that date, September 30th, against Canelo?
You know, you think about the fights and previous, the Tony Harrisons, the Libas, the Castaños, all those fights were big fights, but this one right here under the bright lights, it doesn't get any bigger than this. This is a history-making moment for Charlo, and the thing is, those moments, you only get them one time, perhaps, and you never get them again. So this is the biggest night of this young man's career. He has to cash in.
When you're in an arena, now we know T-Mobile Arena is going to be sold out. Limited tickets are available at AXS.com, presented by Premier Boxing Champions, promoted by TGB Promotions and Canelo Promotions. But when you're making that walk from the locker room to the ring, now my first question to you, do you hear the roar of the crowd as you're getting ready to make your entrance?
You know, I remember my first WrestleMania. And I remember being in the gorilla position, that's the go position. And I got ready to walk out the curtain, and I remember the Undertaker, he looked at me and he go, "Hey, Book, make sure you stop and take it all in." And if he wouldn't have told me that, I wouldn't have done that. I probably would have had tunnel vision and walked right to the ring. But I stepped out on that stage, and I looked around, and it was more than 70,000 people, and I was like, oh, man. And all of those fans, their energy radiated through me. And that's the only thing I think about with Charlo. It's going to be, you know, sweaty palms. It's going to be butterflies, but that's when you got to get those butterflies to line up and fly straight.
So how do you handle that? How do you harness that?
Well, I think, you know, the nervousness actually worked for you at that time. I think if you're not nervous going into a fight like this, you're not human. So I think having that work for you, I think is going to be his greatest attribute on the 30th.
Well, with Jermell Charlo, one thing we know about him is that he always comes in tip-top physical shape. In just you can tell that he has a game plan, but also with Jermell, he has plan A. I don't know, but I believe he has like plan A, plan 1A, plan 1B. There are different ways that he can attack you.
Of course, but that's where I think Derek James is going to come into play in a huge way, just because you go back to the Tony Harrison loss, and you go back to the Costanzo draw. You know, he came in with a certain mentality in both of those fights. He seemed a little lackadaisical, maybe not, you know, ready for that night. That cannot happen in this fight. He has to be totally prepared. Preparation is the only luck he's ever going to have in a fight like this. And Derek James has to be that X factor as far as getting him to that point.
What I like about Jermell Charlo, among a litany of things, his punching power,
yes.
How he's so judicious, and he has terrific technique. He is the epitome to me of a boxer puncher. But he's faced adversity in his career. I go back to those fights that you pointed out. You know, the fact that that fight against Harrison in which he lost, comes back, knocks him out, finishes him off, has retribution. Then in the first fight with Castano, his back was against the wall, and Derek James told him, you need these last few rounds, and he went out and did it.
Exactly. So
he has proven time and time again to be able, when he's faced with adversity, to overcome it.
No, it's going to go back to those fights, having that adversity, having to be able to overcome, being in those positions, knowing what it's like being in those positions, not coming into that fight at a lull. And like I say, this fight is against Canelo Álvarez, the guy is, 59-2. He's only, lost to two of the best fighters in the world, Floyd Mayweather being one of them when he was a kid. Yeah. He's a grown man now, so of course Canelo Álvarez is going to have a game plan as well. So both of these guys, I cannot wait to see the chess match. It's going to be a chess match as far as who walk out. But you talk about those two fights. You talk about how Charlo came into those fight twos with a total different purpose as far as being patient, but being a guy that was seek and destroy at the same time. Let me land this big shot and let me get up out of here and hit the club in H-Town. That's what it was all about.
Well, speaking of H-Town, can you imagine if Jermell Charlo defeats Canelo Álvarez and becomes undisputed super middleweight champion of the world? I can only imagine. You know what it's like to have big moments here in Houston.
Yeah.
The homecoming Jermell Charlo is going to have here in Houston.
Let me tell you, I got the key to the city here in Houston, and trust me, Jermell Charlo goes out and win this fight. It's going to be a big parade for him downtown. The confetti is going to be all over the place. The mayor is going to have a huge cleanup bill because it's going to be a party like 1999.
Where would you like, if he's able to do this on September 30th, if he were to have a homecoming fight? I think he could go out and where the Texans play NRG, I think he could sell that place out. You do a football stadium, if he were to pull off this win against Canelo Álvarez.
Man, of course we can do NRG, we can do Minute Maid, all the big. It's going to have to be a huge arena because trust me, when the Charlos come out and do their thing, Houston is going to come out and support in the biggest way. And after a fight like this, like I say, the parade is going to be huge. And I'm going to tell you, I'm predicting it. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be a knockout. excuse me. It's going to be a unanimous decision, 12 rounds. My man. Now, you know, wait a minute. It's going to be a knockout.
You're saying it's going to be a knockout. You're saying Jermell Charlo knocks out Canelo Álvarez.
It's going to be a huge knockout. 11th round, Charlo over Canelo big.
11th round knockout, Jermell Charlo over Canelo Álvarez. It's going to be late in the fight. Well, we're going to allow you to continue to watch Jermell Charlo work out. I think he's smiling because I think he heard your prediction book, but he certainly put it in that work. Is Jermell Charlo, the undisputed super welterweight champion of the world, undisputed versus undisputed, September 30th, Showtime pay-per-view, T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas will be rocking. Make sure to order it right now. You do not want to be left out in the cold. Do it right now. And do it not because I said so, because Booker T said so.
Do it now.
And can you, what is it, Booker?
Dig that sucker!
Jermell Charlo's workout continues.
We ain't trying to give him too much. We ain't trying to give him too much.
I'm retired, 100%.
Oh, come on.
You are watching the Jermell Charlo workout here in Houston. Jermell from right here, the native son of Houston, Texas, hitting the heavy bag, the undisputed super welterweight champion of the world, matches up against Canelo Álvarez on Saturday, September 30th on Showtime pay-per-view. It is Canelo and Charlo for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. Jermell Charlo looking to become the second man to be undisputed champion in 2 weight divisions. He is looking to further his legacy against Canelo Álvarez, and make no mistake about it, Jermell Charlo is locked in with his head trainer, Derek James, the trainer of the year last year. Also, Juan Guzman, former world champion, looking on as well. So we will allow you to continue to check out the Jermell Charlo workout. I will have a breakdown with the WWE Hall of Famer Booker T in a few moments, as Booker from right here in Houston, having been all over the world as a WWE Hall of Famer and also former WCW heavyweight champion of the world. And Booker, you know, I mentioned the fact that you were former WCW heavyweight champion of the world. You know what it's like to put championship gold around your waist. You know, with that, it comes a certain level of distinction, of pride. People look at you differently. How do you handle that?
You know, as far as fans go,
like with Jermell Charlo, how do you think he's handling it? Like, how you handled it?
Well, I think you can't read your own press clippings. You can't look at yourself in the mirror and wink at yourself and think that you are actually that guy, because there's so much more work still yet to be put in it. When you're not working, somebody else is. And if you think, you can rest on your laurels for one moment, that's when everything is going to go away. So I think just being humble, staying in that place to where, it's not about me, it's about getting the job done day in and day out, literally having that mentality where there's no days off. That's the only way you can stay at the top.
So with that, does it come with higher expectations? Because, okay, you go there and you win a championship. He's won Undisputed Super Welterweight Championship of the World, did it in impressive fashion. But now there is an expectation in which fans, the media, and yourself, you expect to exceed those expectations. How do you deal with that?
It's really hard to deal with other people's expectations. You can only deal with yours. I mean, Jermell, he's won, of course, but he's lost also. He knows what it feels like to actually lose. So in a fight like this, he knows, how important it is. He knows exactly what's on the line. He knows that a fight like this is a life-changing moment. Once it happens, it's going to be over, and it perhaps may never happen again. That's the only thing that could really keep you locked in and dialed in to make that walk down that aisle, or to face that man across from you. Because one thing you got to understand, that guy across from you, he's thinking the exact same thing.
So does that make him more dangerous because of the fact that he does want to be able, this is a life-changing opportunity for him. Jermell's already done very well financially in this sport with everything he's accomplished, but to be able to have this moment and to be able to defeat the great Canelo Álvarez, how dangerous does this make Jermell?
Come on, that's that Lions mentality. He's going to be dangerous, by any stretch of the imagination. He's going to go out there and he's going to be able to perform, but they're again performing at that level to where you got to be laser focused. You got to be able to block out all the noise, all that white noise got to go to the side, as well as there again you got a guy throwing punches at you, so you got to definitely keep your eyes on the prize. But as far as a guy that's, when I look at him, I'm watching him hit the bag. When I look at him, he seems like he's laser focused. He seems like he's, more calm that he's ever been. The pressure doesn't seem like it's affecting him or anything like that. And I think that right there in itself is a dangerous fighter.
I think that for Jermell Charlo, you could just tell that he is in such a good place mentally, and I think it's going to show in his performance on September 30th. He is one of those guys that rises to the occasion, and I certainly believe that he is more than up to the task when he takes on Canelo on September 30th.
You just said the word rise to the occasion. Every time Jermell Charlo's been knocked down, he's picked himself back up, and he's come back, and he's gone out and win, and not just win, he's gone out and win in grand fashion. And on Saturday, September 30th, against Canelo Álvarez, a guy there again, 59-2. It's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but if anybody can get it done, I think it's Jermell Charlo. This fight right here is a fight that I don't think any of us ever thought would come to fruition, but on September 30th, it's here, and it's going to be a dynamite. It's going to be a knockdown drag.
People talk about old school throwback fighters many times, and it's almost something that we kind of pound to the pulpit and we beat like a drum. Jermell Charlo is a throwback fighter. I don't ever remember him turning down any opportunity. He's always been the one to initiate who he wants. I want that guy. I want the baddest man on the planet. When he fought Jason Rosario back 3 years ago in this pay-per-view maiden voyage, along with his brother Jermell Charlo, who fought Sergey Derevyanchenko at Mohegan Sun during COVID times. No fans were allowed in the building, but he wanted that opportunity against Jason Rosario, and he put him away with a piercing body shot.
Not to mention an undefeated Erickson Lubin. A kid who had dynamite in both hands, and he went out there and got him out of there, boom, with one shot. So he packs dynamite in both hands. This fight against Canelo Álvarez, you talk about, Charlo being a throwback, as well as Canelo Álvarez. Both of these guys are throwback fighters, and to see them both in the middle of the ring at this stage in Las Vegas on the 30th is going to be a night to remember for all.
I want to bring back a point about, you talked about, when you're at this level that you can't read your own press clippings.
Yes.
Absolutely understandable. But do you read things where, Jermell is the underdog coming into this fight? He alluded to it. Does that motivate him? Does that add fuel to his fire? I don't think he needs anything more, but do you think that it adds a little extra oomph to what he's doing?
To be honest, I always knew that I was good in professional wrestling. I never thought about the championships or anything like that. But when you're good, I got to say, it's all about checks and championships, baby. No, and that's what Jermell Charlo has gone throughout his career, not because of anything else other than he's just that good. Give him credit for that.
Well, I love what you just said. It's all about checks and championships. I mean, is that not the epitome of what it is to be a prize fighter, an elite level athlete?
It is, but that is the epitome, checks and championships. But that will never happen if you're not truly the best, and that's what Jermell Charlo is.
Well, for this particular fight, you have two guys in Canelo. I think Canelo is looking to come out in this fight and try to prove something, because people are saying, has the true greatness of Canelo diminished a little bit? And I think that's why Canelo said, you know what, I want Jermell Charlo. And Jermell Charlo, I probably took him like 20 seconds to say yes.
Of course, Canelo Álvarez has something to prove. I mean, that Dimitri Bivol fight was a beatdown. It really was. And Canelo Álvarez knows he's a much better fighter than that. He was fighting a much bigger guy at that time as well, and that step up for him was a huge step up. But do Canelo Álvarez want to be redeemed? Of course he wants to be redeemed. But on Saturday, September 30th, I'm just wondering, is this the wrong guy to step in there to get it done with as far as this kid Charlo? Because this kid has come a long way. I've watched this kid's career, and I remember talking to Jermell Charlo once, and I said, I wasn't a believer in the beginning in the Charlo brothers.
You weren't?
No,
okay.
That's what I told him. I said, I wasn't a believer. But over the time, both of those brothers made me believers in their performances each and every time they went out to that ring.
Well, I just love the fact that Jermell mentioned, he goes, my brother Jermell started before I did. And they are still, look, I have a younger brother, who's in this business from an announcer standpoint, Miguel. There's nothing like, working with your family, no matter what it is. I mean, obviously, you guys are athletes. We are not. But there's nothing like working with your brother, being a part of something with your brother. Jermell certainly feeds off of Jermell and vice versa.
Well, I mean, I started with my brother, of course, the Harlem Heat. And I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my brother. Just like Jermell may be thinking, I think that all the time. I always say I'm living my brother's dream, being at the top, spot here in professional wrestling, something I never thought about when I was a kid. My brother motivated me and pushed me towards this, and this is the outcome of it. But I watched those two brothers, Jermell and Jamal. They've not did it, this journey, but they've done it together. Both of these guys are champions. Both of these guys represent Houston, and not just represent Houston, but in the utmost way, these two guys represent Houston. I give them a lot of credit. I'm proud of both of those guys.
Certainly, Lions only. Great to see Jermell Charlo.
I'm ready to hit, man. I'm ready to hit. I got a couple of moves. Yeah.
Well, Jermell, I know you're getting ready to, you're finishing off your workout, but we will put you in the middle. Booker, you and I will stand over this way. But Jermell, I mean, you just seeing you work out, truly do believe that you are in such a great place. How excited are you just to get to Las Vegas? When are you going to get to Vegas is my question to you.
Hey, it's hot in Texas, and it feel good in Texas. I don't got no distractions. A lot of people, they leave their crib and stuff because they got distractions, or they don't got the love that I don't know why they leave their crib. That's what they do it for. I don't understand, but I have everything here from recovery to everything, so I want to stay in Texas as long as I can. And but you know, I just finished a cool workout. It was quick. I worked out this morning as well because I usually work out sometimes in the morning. So I worked.
So you did a double workout, huh, today?
I have to do that for for the fans and the Showtime and the viewers. But I went easy right now, a little light. I couldn't show y'all everything. I can't give out my secrets while y'all over here recording me and stuff,
But if that's you going light, that's me going hard like times 10.
Well, I mean, you're not a boxer.
Lead athlete, of course.
So leave it to me and the Canelos.
I mean, you're not even breathing hard right now. So obviously, you're in great shape. Have you been doing like any extra sparring?
Oh man, a lot. Yeah, like I've been doing so much sparring. I've been doing so much training, strength training. I've been doing a lot of conditioning. I've been working on, mental as well, so it's not just all about physical. I've been preparing myself, the full 9 yards around this process. I've been possibly training for about 14 weeks, so I've been going for a real long time. So, like I said, no fight gets made without negotiation. So this fight, of course, had to have some negotiations. We just kept it quiet and did what we did. It's released. It's out here to the public. Now we fighting the best fighter in the world. We from Texas. We from Houston. He from Mexico. Not too far. I know he's hot over there.
Did you think this fight was going to ever come to fruition?
Not necessarily, but when I seen that he was making a move to PBC, I said, okay, maybe me and my brother, one of us can get our hands on Canelo and make a legacy fight, generational wealth type of fight. And so that's definitely what they bring, and I deserve it. I conquered my weight division, and what else there is for me to do other than continue to fight challengers, and I got an awesome challenge. So right now with Canelo is a massive thing.
I was just talking to Ray, and I was telling Ray, he was talking about as far as the championship thing. I said, when you're the best, checks and championships, that's just part of the game, right?
Right. Getting money is a part of why we do this as well. Nobody does. We prize fighters. We definitely in here for a reason. We're not, we one of the highest paid combat sporters in the world. So, and we put a lot of work in, a lot of dedication, a lot of determination, family sacrificing. It's things that we do in boxing that a lot of people on the outside world don't see. They only get to see the big major fights. They don't know the things that we go through as far as injuries, as far as, recovering from those things, and just staying on it, man.
Jermell, have you thought about what your ring walk is going to mean to you? Because I asked Booker T, when he was in his first WrestleMania, what that was like, and was he able to soak in the moment? You have, these memorable ring walks, with your ring attire and your music, and the fans get excited. But now it's happening in Las Vegas, sold out crowd, millions watching around the world on Showtime pay-per-view. Have you thought about what that's going to mean to you? And, do you have a little bit of a preview of what we can expect with your ring walk a little bit for September 30th?
Oh, man, truthfully, I have like personal artists in my mind that I would like to ring walk me out. But I'm so dialed in, man, that it's been hard to even, connect on that. I mean, I'm excited about my attire, what I'm gonna wear. I have a one-of-one custom piece made from Paris. Balenciaga made it. We're talking like a six-figure type of outfit. And so I'm very excited about that, and that's pretty cool. Other than that, I haven't really got to what I'm gonna ring walk. I know I got my boy Toby from A-Leaf, and why not put on a stage like that? Keep the Texas thing going. I know Canelo gonna have his big mariachi band, and that's cool. I mean, but if I stumble up on a larger global artist that wants to wipe me out, maybe Chris Brown. That's one of my good friends. We could come out with some heat. He made me a song before, so I don't know yet, man. I haven't really put my mind to it. It's getting closer, so I know I need to lock that in. But I'm not in competition with the Terrence Crawford ring walk. I know that's what everybody's trying to get the answer to. That motherfucker came out with Eminem. That was some bad shit. Like, I ain't gonna front. That's some cool shit. And it's gonna be hard to beat that. He win. That's not my world. We don't get paid for that anyways. But I almost had like Lil Wayne or something. I had some people I've been in contact with. So we shall see.
Yeah, now that ring walk, for me, I always say, I was always nervous. I was always, sweaty palms, butterflies flying around. But I always let that nervous energy work for me. Every time, I could never make a mistake because I had that nervous energy working for me. Your ring walk, like you say, only a few get a chance to do what you do. You're like a gladiator.
I'm nervous. I'll be nervous every fight. I've been nervous since I was younger. No lie. This is my life I'm putting on the line. I want to get back and get out of there safe. Every fight I'm nervous. I'm not one of those I'm not shy. Because if I was shy, I wouldn't be able to get in the ring, But of course, you want to make sure you do good. You want to perform right. You want to look good while you fighting. You want to put it all on the line and make adjustments through adversity. And that's the hardest part about the boxing is you don't never know. You never know what to expect out of this sport or what's gonna happen. And some of the greatest fighters have lost. Some of the greatest fighters have won. And the greatest fighters have won. So I'm amongst the Hall of Fames already. I'm in the top. I'm just there to be great. I'm going to be great, and that's it.
You're already great.
Yes, sir.
On September 30th, if Jimmy Lennon were to say at the end of the fight, and the new undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, and he says your name, what would that mean to you? What would that mean to your family? What would that mean to Houston?
It should show, first, me that, never stop believing. God is real. It's already written for me, so whatever happens is already written. So that alone allows me to, feel comfortable and happy no matter what the outcome is. Let my family and the believers that do rock with the Lions only know that, there's a change is coming, and there's always all with the old, in with the new. And I'm an old head, and so if I accomplish this massive goal, it'll be hard to beat. And I'll be in the record book for a very, very long time, amongst the greatest in the world of boxing, and that's super exciting for me.
I know you got to go, but I really want to know from you in terms of you are not just happy to be at this stage. You belong here, and you've proven it time and time again. But how much focused are you to be able to not only go out and compete against Canelo, but to beat him and say, all right, this is now the Jermell Charlo era officially, but in a new weight class?
I just got to stay hungry, and I've been hungry, and just to be in there, like a lot of people hyping up you fighting Canelo, that's understood. I would have fought him years ago. It probably wouldn't have been at such a large magnitude because I'm undisputed. So I'm like I said, it's already written. I worked my ass off in my division. He worked his ass off in his division. He made the right decisions, business moves, and it's only here now. You know what I'm saying? And so I can't too much stay focused on that I'm in the ring with Canelo. I'm hungry. I want to win. I want to win this fight for my city. I want to win this for my town, my children. I want to win. I just want to keep working hard, and everything that I put on the line and all this hard training that I did, I just want to get it out of it. I want to see what it's worth. I want to test myself.
Bookie, you got one more for Jermell?
Yeah, that's pretty much said it all. I mean, I'm looking forward to the 30th. Looking forward to watching you go out there and make history in grand fashion. And,
Be there. They can't be there. Tune in.
Booyah.
Cop it on pay-per-view.
Showtime pay-per-view.
Showtime pay-per-view. Pay-per-view.com. Come to the T-Mobile Arena. Check in with the Lions. We're going to be roaring. Let's go.
How much does that? Lions only.
Yeah.
How much are you going to harness that as you prepare to step inside the ring against Canelo?
Hey, there's only a few Lions that can make it. And I'm at the end of that. I'm at the end of that mountain. I'm ready to leap over and look and see what I got. Yeah, that's my land. That's my pasture.
I'm
looking at what's mine.
On behalf of the WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, the undisputed super welterweight champion of the world, Jermell Charlo, Houston's finest. Also, your brother.
Sweaty in his shirt, James. Big respect to you, Booker. Big respect to you, Flores. I know y'all took your time out. Shout out to everybody that is tuning in right now. Hey, it's time. It's time.
You heard it here from the champ. It's time. Jermell Charlo, Canelo Álvarez, September 30th. Showtime pay-per-view, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Jermell Charlo ready to go. Booker T, are you ready?
I almost just threw my shoulder out. But yeah, I'm ready, man.
All right, we'll talk to you. Good. We'll talk to you later this week. We got Canelo Álvarez's workout. We'll see you. Jermell Charlo's workout in the books here from Houston. So long from H-Town.
It's about pride. It's about legacy.
I want to make history in boxing. That's why I'm here.
When you want to win something this big, you got to risk it all.
But I'm ready, and I prepare myself for a different kind of fight.
My whole career has been about chasing Canelo.
Undisputed versus Undisputed.
Welcome, class. Do you guys know the theme of the book? The theme is the NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
That's not the theme of the book.
Josh,
Hi, class.
That's Josh Allen.
What Tony meant to say was the NFL on CBS streams live on Paramount Plus.
That's exactly what he just said.
What does this have to do with English lit?
because the NFL on CBS streaming live on Paramount Plus is lit.
Feels good to make a difference, Tony.